Hello and welcome, I'm Arumba. Thank you for joining me. Let's play Factorio. All right, it's live, it's on Steam. Let's go ahead and play a brand new factory and build it from the beginning and kind of revisit this game. So I am going to be playing with quite a few mods. They're mostly, for the most part, just like helper mods. They don't really change much about gameplay. It's pretty much vanilla, except we are going to play with no biters, so that we don't have the annoying wah, wah, wah noise, and we can focus entirely on building a really nice, cool, and elegant, hopefully, factory. So here are the mods in order. We've got Alien Science. Because we're not playing with biters, we're going to need a way to make the purple science packs. And so this allows you to craft Alien Science packs, not from ore on the ground or anything, but basically you combine a huge amount of level 1, 2, and 3 science packs to create the level 4 science packs. You can also take even more science packs to make alien artifacts, which allows you to still make things like power armor and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. Autofill just allows you to put stuff automatically in. Since, again, we're not playing with biters, it's not really a cheat to like prevent us from having to do any kind of work. It's just more like, hey, let's put fuel in our engines and boilers and stuff like that. Auto Trash is a new mod that I haven't actually had a chance to test out, but I'm really excited about. This allows you to have profiles for your logistics requester slots for your character. And also you can say, hey, anytime there's wood in my inventory, throw it into my logistic trash slot, which is exactly how logistic trash slots should work, but they don't for some reason. Evolution Factor Indicator is basically just going to be a glorified clock, lets us know how long we've been playing, and also lets us know what time of day it is, that kind of thing. Fully Automated Rail Layer, Farl, lets us have, it's a mod that lets you place down rail much easier and create blueprints for it. Fast Filter Fill allows you to say, okay, all of these slots in a train wagon, for example, I want them all to be restricted to iron ore. And instead of having to do every single one at once, you can duplicate filter settings in cargo wagons and like smart chests and stuff to just kind of spread it through. Foreman is a blueprint manager, which allows us to save and import blueprints from other save files. And then just like, hey, here's my blueprint book. My understanding is that in future versions of the game, they've already got it planned where you're going to have a blueprint book. So something similar to Foreman. So I really like having this mod. Initial Scan just lets us see a little bit farther around the beginning of the where we land. Larger inventory gives us more stuff, more storage space. Long Reach allows us to manipulate objects from farther away, so we don't have to be like right up next to them. More Light is pretty much a YouTube-focused mod that just makes it so you can see more stuff around your character, so that it's easier for viewers to have an idea what they're seeing, since there's sometimes some gamma issues. Rail Tanker allows you to have a rail tank car for transporting liquids like oil. Resource Spawner Overhaul makes it so that the game generates resources differently. They're more spread out, more reliance on trains. It's very good. RSO Radar, Resource Spawner Overhaul Radar, increases the range that radars can scan, but also quadruples their energy cost. Because resources are spread out more, vanilla radar just can't really do much. The Fat Controller is remote train management. Train position length and fix makes it so you can make horizontal or vertical train stations and not have them have issues where horizontally trains are 8 tiles wide, but vertically they're 6.33 tiles wide. This adjusts the collision and selection boxes and position on rails to have wheels directly on the rails. It does not change the fact that trains effectively get shorter when oriented vertically compared to horizontally. It just basically it fixes it so that you can do vertical stations if you want to, and they don't look stupid. Tree collision just makes it so you can't run into the trees very well. Like you can usually sneak by them and stuff, because obviously a real person is not going to just walk into a tree. It's kind of dumb. Upgrade Planner lets you upgrade from like regular belt to red belt. Instead of having to replace the belt, you just say, hey, all yellow belt becomes red belt, and the robots will go do that for you. And then yet another resource monitor fork allows you to track how many resources there are in a given area. So let's go ahead and start. We're going to say like small water and large starting area. It doesn't really affect much in this playthrough because there are no biters, but it's going to affect how big the initial scan is. So by doing very big, we'll have a nice little scan of the area, and we don't have to waste time running around. So no trees on this spawn. That's kind of weird. Also kind of nice though. There's our initial scan mod, giving us a nice little reveal of the area, so we can kind of plan our base out. We've got everything we need, of course. Resource Spawner Overhaul makes it so you have a strict amount of resources in your initial area. One of each pod, or one of each type, will be in the area. So oil, coal, iron, copper, and stone. And then beyond that, resources are going to be pretty far away. We'll have to wander quite a bit to find extra resource deposits. So do we like this? I like the fact that it's empty, and we won't have to do a lot of tree clearing. On the other hand, I usually do chop down a few trees to get initial fuel. And boxes and stuff. So I suppose what we'll do is we'll just have to mine a little bit of coal since we don't have to do trees. Now, one thing I do want to mention is that this campaign I'm planning on doing 30-minute long videos. It's going to be a lot longer than normal. This is like my my experiment to see how this form of content does with longer form content. So I also feel like Factorio is the kind of game that it really runs away with you. It really runs away on you. So having longer times will be nice. So we're going to probably skip wooden chests then, since we don't have a lot of wood available. We'll get, let's get like 10 stone. Maybe take the time to do 15. We'll most likely be trying to build a very, very tiny little factory initially. Like no bus or anything. That's just going to make us electronic circuits and, I guess, gears or something, you know? Just enough that we can actually, like, get started. Because without, without that, I have a tendency to try to build too big, and then I end up taking like an hour to actually get my factory, like Red Science, started. So we just need that miniature little factory so that we can get going there. Okay, we have enough to do that. Let's go ahead and get you started. Need just a little bit more to get another chest. Actually, let's go ahead and steal that chest, I guess. I really prefer for stone to be coming out. This is by no means going to be a speed run, but it's also... I'm going to try really hard to stay focused on what I'm trying to accomplish. What I'm doing right now is I'm standing at the output and just holding down the F key. Allowing that thing to keep on working, even though it's putting them directly on the ground. I just immediately pick it up. If we have enough, we can make another chest. We'll get that thing out. There we go. Okay. Now we're starting to look pretty good here. Let's get our iron production up. We'll probably start off with 8. 8's usually a pretty good number to start with. So this long reach mod allows us to like manipulate from over here. You'll see I can put stuff down without having to be right next to it, which is very convenient for playing the game in a non-like... It's not quite vanilla, but it's definitely... It doesn't change much, really. It's more of a convenience factor, like, hey, I don't have to run halfway across the map to do this one little thing that I want to do. I can just reach a little bit farther, which is, I would say, fairly convenient. I'd like to get another guy making coal for us now. Doing this little feeding into each other loop allows them to feed each other, but they can only store up to 50. Once they get full, they stop working. It's not quite as long-term redundant as a chest would be. But because you're usually going to be trying to pull the resources from it quite often, it's pretty convenient. We'll actually go straight up to 4. They've added some really good music to the game in this last patch. Let's go ahead and turn the music up for a bit. Unfortunately, I've noticed that they don't seem to have, like, normalized it very well. So some songs are still quite loud, which is weird. Maybe even going up to 6 of these would help out. Oh, I'm really liking the idea that we don't have a lot of trees to clear. I usually end up spending so much time working on trees. So having one less issue to deal with. Very convenient. Sure, we got our little loop going. So I realize that it's pretty possible that there's going to be a number of people who are seeing Factorio for the first time if they're watching this video, because, well, it being on Steam, one of the things I had noticed, there's a huge bump to the video, like the search results that we were getting for one of my older campaigns. So I should probably mention like a little bit more about like what the goal is and what I'm trying to do when I'm making decisions, so that hopefully it makes sense to brand new players and not people who are familiar with the game. This is a very common thing, just feeding the ore directly into a thing allows you to skip the process of having to use inserters. Okay, we're just about ready to maybe be able to go focus on power. We'll need to get a little bit of coal going. Or not coal, sorry, copper. I usually like to do 2 copper. 2 burner inserters, 2 stone furnaces making copper will be enough to get us... And in fact, really just 1 is plenty. What we need to start doing is making steam engines. So we'll get you making a little bit of coal, or sorry, a little bit of copper for us. Just the smallest little pittance of. And now we need to do a little bit of planning. So from here, I'm thinking we want to take all 4 of our primary resources west and go build in this desert area. And that means that the coal is going to run along here. We can use this lakefront here. This vertical line right here will represent the start of our power chain. We'll bring the resources over, and then maybe we'll do a vertical smelting area. Maybe we'll actually build south. So like the power... Well, the power is only going to extend to about like here. I suppose we could just start and make it a vertical thing. Yeah, we'll do that. Power goes up to here. This whole block right here will be power. See what I mean by the volume of songs? This one's a little bit louder. Okay, so I've queued up 10 steam engines. I usually like to jump straight up to 5 megawatts. Alright, let's go get started on this thing. Got a little bit of a hike to get over there. So our initial factory is just going to be a little miniature smelting area right here, just to get the basic stuff going. We'll just do, like, I don't know, not very much at all to build our basics, but this is going to be where we do power. So we'll start it, I'd say roughly right along this bottom water edge would be where I'd like it to be. So like right here, grab our first pump, we'll put him here. I always like to leave a little bit of space between the water and this thing so I can walk through or navigate around it. Okay, other than that, we're going to go 13 pipe long, plus 1 extra. And as I have the resources, we'll be upgrading most of these into boilers, except for the last one. I think. It's probably the way I'm going to do it. It's getting awfully dark. We'll need to use lots of lights. The nice thing is that with long reach, we can do this. Just pick this stuff up. Get done what we need to get done. Get a little bit more stone. Amount of wood is the issue with the power poles. So yeah, that's not a problem I was expecting to have. It's very rare. Usually you have more wood than you know what to do with, and it's just kind of a hassle. Okay, a little bit more copper. Get our first slab out. We're going to need to bring power all the way over here. So we'll start off by saying that we're going to run the fuel up here. Fuel is going to go something like this. And we need 13 burner inserters. I do like to use burner inserters on the fuel or like the power line because they're sufficient. They get the job done. They're strong enough. Now actually, come to think of it, we're probably going to want to do another one of these up here. So I think this is backwards. And then if possible, we want to leave as much space in between these as we can. Let's actually go just down. Need more wood. Again, not a very common problem to have. Alright, we'll set up our very basic little smelting area. We'll do like, something like this, like right here. I want to get all these things set up the way that I like now. This is reserving slots so that only certain items can go here. That way I just, like, my keyboard shortcuts will always work because I know where they're going to be. Okay, so first things first, we need to get these things out. We have our lab. Let's go ahead and start working on automation. And then other than that, I need a little bit more stone. So we have more furnaces available. Okay. we're going to run that over there. We'll get a little bit of coal on the line. A few gears made so that when we get the tech for inserter or automation, we can have that started right away. Starting to get a little nice little surplus of coal, which means that I have to manage that a little bit less. Okay, up here. We have access to assembly machine 1s now. What we're going to do is we're just going to be kind of lazy for this initial part here. We're just going to collide these two together. So we have a hybrid line. And then we'll pull out on this side. Oops. Well, we'll end up using that bird insert eventually. Did not actually mean to make him just now, but... Okay, so we've got our iron. A very, very small amount of it. Let's do the same thing now for coal, or for copper. I keep calling copper coal, I don't know why. We really only need a little tiny bit. It'll help out with building the primary factory tremendously. So let's get 2 more for iron. We'll get you started. Let's immediately start making belt. So we'll say like, this is going to turn into a little miniature bus. So we're going to run iron on this line, copper on this line. And let's just build everything that we need right here. So you'll make transport belt for me. You'll make gears for me. Alright, so at least that's taken care of now. Need more wood. And now, if we can just get a little thing making a little bit of circuitry. It doesn't even need to be very fast. We're not going to use the proper ratio. Just 2 assembling machines will be enough to get the ball rolling. And then we'll probably also automate red science, and then we'll go get started on like a primary smelting area. Again, everything we've really done so far is just like to get the factory started. It's nothing really major. Until we actually get this primary area done. We're going to manually feed the boilers for power. Just take all that excess power over there. If I could get these power lines, that'd be great. Nope, no. Normally I would use wood. I was like, oh yeah, we need some power, just use the wood. No. Get all those guys working. Now we have enough power lines to hopefully finish this area. Let's grab the transport belt. Oh, it's so nice to not have to make that myself anymore. And we'll just do something simple. So we got 2 of those. That means we just need 4 of these. Do the same thing we did before. We'll run these guys on this side. I need to get my coal to come down this way. Now, we don't have any underground belt, so for now we're just gonna have to kind of come down here right through the iron. It's not pretty, but it'll get the job done. And there's our copper. Once we get you hooked up. I'd like to double this thing up. I think we're going to need more iron production than we're going to need the other guy. So let's go ahead and do that right now. I'm ending up with lots of iron in my hands. Let's go ahead and turn most of this iron into gears, so that I have them. In fact, we'll even make it a little bit more efficient, I think. You can copy paste recipes by holding shift. Like you shift right click. Like, actually, yeah. Now that I'm trying to remember how to do it, I don't even know how to do it. Yeah, you hold down shift right click and then shift left click, copy paste it. Very convenient. Almost to the point where we can shut down some of these burner miners. We don't need to shut them down though, you know? Now right now we only have this on one side, which might bother you, but keep in mind that the throughput's not really very high, so it doesn't actually matter yet. Alright, so we've got that. Let's go ahead and get a couple long-handed inserters so we can get a few gears or circuits being made. We'll do it on the same side. You're going to make coil. Okay, so we have a lot of the basics there. We'll get one guy who's just making gears directly. Well, you know, we probably don't need it since I've got all this stuff being made into gears. It's the wrong one. Let it get probably 2 science labs working on red. I think we will shut this down. Not that it really costs us anything. Doesn't really hurt to have it, but just for the sake of organization, I'd rather not have that there. One of the first things we're going to research is actually optics, just for your benefit, so you can see what we're doing a little bit better. Got a rudimentary little factory here. This is, of course, way too much coal for now, but eventually this is all going to merge together into a primary coal line. So let's go ahead and do what I said I was going to do, which is to double up iron production. Can reroute you down this way a little bit. A little bit more transport belt. Okay. Our initial deposit's not very big, and we're going to want a lot of iron out of it, so I think we're just going to really load up and go with mining drills that are directly adjacent to each other. A lot of times I'd prefer to do it like this, where they're two tiles apart, so they don't have any area that they overlap. It causes them to run for longer, but have less overall production. which could just be really convenient for like longevity, so you don't have to, like if you need more iron per minute, then you just go get another deposit versus tapping your deposit harder and just having it run out sooner. So that can work. Okay, we're gonna need another 8 of those. And of course, electric poles. We're gonna want to upgrade to steel poles like right away. Alright, let's do one more little thing and then we're gonna call it good for the first episode. Which is gonna be, you're gonna make gears. You're gonna put those gears out. I'm gonna do that, so it's only on one side. And then we're gonna have a couple guys making red making red science packs. And now we can go and focus pretty much entirely on creating a much larger smelting area. Okay, so that's red science taken care of. Very basic, very quick. Well, I wouldn't say very quick. I mean, it's fast enough. Rudimentary little factory. And it makes enough stuff that we can actually go and build bigger. And rather than let this stuff run, let's go ahead and shut this down since we don't really need it anymore. So, alright, I look forward to seeing you in the next episode where we will go and make it bigger. Thank you for joining, and hope that this campaign will be something that you're interested in. If you found it helpful, make sure to leave a comment, maybe follow the series, like the video, whatever you want to do, and I will look forward to seeing you again in the next episode. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you soon.